Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to really break down complex stuff and give you the knowledge you need, not just to be informed, but critically to stay safe.
And today's topic is, well, it's a big one. It's right at the heart of fraud in America right now.
It really is. We're doing a deep dive into government imposter scams, specifically the ones pretending to be the Social Security Administration, the SSA.
Right. And we're not just, throwing stats around. We want to give you the actual blueprint. How does this work? What tech are they using? What psychology?
Exactly. So you can understand the scale, the tricks, and how to protect yourself. Because honestly, the numbers are staggering. We're really at a crisis point.
No exaggeration. The data for government imposter scams. The losses reported jumped to $789 million in 2024.
Wow. $789 million. That was $750 million.
Yeah.
Stolen by people pretending to be the government.
It's hard to even wrap your head around. And think about the speed. That figure, the $789 million, it's a 361% increase.
A 361% rise.
Yeah, just from the year before. It's pretty much the fastest growing major scam type out there right now. Maybe complex investment scams lose more overall dollars, but the growth rate here is terrifying.
And, for years, everyone knew about the IRS scam, right? That was the big bad guy, the call about back taxes, the arrest warrant.
The old king, definitely. The IRS scam, it was bad, don't get me wrong. Maybe peaked around $17 million in losses a year.
Okay, $17 million. But this SSA scam,
it's completely blown past it. Since about October 2018, this focus on your Social Security number, your benefits, it's become the #1 government imposter robocalling scam, period.
So what are the losses just from the SSA version?
We're seeing over 76,000 reports filed recently, and the losses tied to those, over $19 million.
$19 million. So it's already surpassed the IRS scam's peak.
By a bit, yeah. And it shows how criminals adapt, right? They figured people were getting wise to the IRS script, so they pivoted.
They went for the core, the Social Security number itself, the thing that underpins retirement, disability.
Exactly. They shifted from, a tax threat, which maybe you could argue about, to a threat against your actual identity, your lifeline income. That's much scarier for most people.
It really is. So our goal today for you listening is basically immunity. That's what we want.
Yeah. By the time we're done, you won't just spot the red flags. You'll understand why they work. Because these scammers, they're leaning hard on two things: fear and our tendency to trust authority.
Authority bias.
Right. We're going to take their whole playbook apart.
Okay, let's do it. Section 1, the anatomy of the scam. How does it actually work from that first contact?
Well, it all starts with pretending, simulating authority, and then boom, manufacturing a massive crisis instantly.
They don't ease into it.
No way. For the SSA scam, the most common script, it hits hard. They claim your Social Security number, your SSN, has been suspended.
Suspended? Can they even do that?
Nope, absolutely not. Your SSN is permanent. That word suspended should be your first giant red flag. But they don't stop there. They often say it's been involved in suspicious activity.
Like what kind of activity?
Oh, the scary stuff. Money laundering, drug trafficking. Often they'll say it happened in Texas or somewhere near the border to make it sound more serious, more federal.
That money laundering bit is clever in a twisted way.
Well,
it takes it from a paperwork problem to, like, a major federal crime.
Exactly. It's designed to terrify you into complying, not thinking. But again, the key for you listening, your SSN cannot be suspended. That's pure fiction.
But they don't give you breathing room to realize that. They hit you with immediate threats.
Right away. They pile on the pressure. They'll threaten to cut off your benefits immediately, which, if you rely on that income...
Devastating.
Totally. Or they'll escalate. They'll claim federal marshals have issued an arrest warrant. They'll say the marshals are literally on their way to your house right now, unless you do exactly what they say.
It's pure panic induction. They're trying to shut down your rational brain. We heard about Janet Williams, 67. Her story really highlights how targeted this is.
Yeah, Janet's story is sadly typical in some ways. She was recently widowed, trying to figure out survivor benefits, already stressed, and she gets this call.
What did they say to her?
Claimed there was a problem with her survivor claim. Put immense pressure on her, verify this information now, or the benefits stop immediately, the money she was now totally depending on.
They zeroed in on her exact vulnerability, the recent loss, the financial dependence. It's predatory.
It is. And sources mention this pattern. Scammers look for these moments, grief, stress. We heard about Elizabeth Johnson, too, 58. Similar situation after her husband died. They push those emotional buttons, fear of financial ruin on top of the grief. It just overwhelms rational thought.
Luckily, Janet hung up. She felt the pressure was just too much, too wrong. But it shows why knowing the official rules is so vital. Which brings us to the 4 universal red flags. The FTC and SSA point these out. If you remember anything, remember these 4 Ps.
Yes, every single government imposter scam have these elements, every one.
Okay, first P. The caller pretends. They pretend to be from the SSA or IRS or FBI, whatever. They might use fancy titles, cite fake laws, give you a bogus employee ID. It's all about sounding official.
Second P. They claim there's a problem, a big one. With your SSN, your benefits, your account, it's suspended, it's linked to crime, you owe money now. They have to create that sense of disaster.
Third P. Pressure. They pressure you to act immediately. Don't hang up or you'll be arrested. Do this in the next 30 minutes or your benefits are gone forever. They want to stop you from thinking, from checking.
And the fourth P, the absolute giveaway, they tell you how to pay. And it's always in these weird, specific, untraceable ways.
Like what?
Gift cards are huge, or cryptocurrency, wire transfers, sometimes even mailing cash. If anyone claiming to be from the government tells you to pay a fine or fee with an Apple gift card,
Hang up. Instantly.
instantly, it's 100% a scam.
Yeah.
No legitimate government agency works that way, ever.
Okay, so those are the basics. But there's a more complex version, right? The one that aims for people's life savings. The fraud protection scheme.
Ah, yes. This one is particularly nasty because it uses layers of deception. It starts with someone calling, but they don't claim to be the government initially.
Who do they pretend to be then?
Often your own bank's fraud department, or maybe Amazon or Microsoft support, someone you might actually expect a call from regarding security. They tell you your bank accounts are compromised, your money isn't safe.
So they hook you by pretending to help you with a different problem first.
Yeah,
You're already scared and looking for a solution.
exactly. You think your bank is confirming a real threat. Then the first scammer says, okay, to secure your funds, I need to transfer you to a federal agent who can help. And then they patch you through to someone claiming to be from the SSA or the Treasury or the FBI.
So the government agent seems like the rescuer, not the bad guy.
Precisely. The victim's guard is down. They trust this agent because their bank just vouched for them. It's a brilliant, evil piece of social engineering.
And what's the demand from this fake government helper?
It's usually astronomical. They'll tell you, to protect your money from the hackers, you need to move all of it, your entire life savings,
Move it where?
to a supposed secure government account, which is really the scammer's account. Or they might tell you to withdraw thousands in cash for a government courier to pick up.
A courier. Seriously.
Seriously. Or buy gold bars. Or, increasingly common, transfer everything into a specific cryptocurrency wallet they control. All under the guise of safeguarding your assets from the initial fake threat.
That story about Robert Torres, the 65-year-old widower, really illustrates this, doesn't it?
It really does. He was recently widowed, managing finances alone for the first time. He got the fake bank call, believed his accounts were hacked. He was literally on the verge of transferring everything he had.
Everything.
Everything. To the safe government account the fake SSA agent told him to use.
Yeah.
It was only because his daughter happened to visit, overheard part of the call, and knew the script. That's the only reason he didn't lose it all.
It's terrifying. And again, notice the targeting: newly widowed, maybe newly retired, someone potentially stressed or isolated, managing finances.
They look for those transition points. The sophistication isn't just the script, it's the psychological timing.
Let's shift gears slightly. Section 2, the financial impact and who's being targeted. There's this common idea, right, that it's only elderly people falling for this.
That's a myth, or at least it's more complicated than that. The data on who reports losing money versus who loses the most money tells a different story.
Okay, so break down the numbers. What did the Q3 fiscal year 2025 data show?
Well, interestingly, in terms of just the number of people reporting a loss, younger folks actually reported more often. Individuals under 50 had 329 reports of loss in that quarter, compared to 184 reports from people aged 50 and older.
So more younger people are getting hit, or at least reporting it. Why would that be?
It could be a few things. Maybe higher exposure, more time online, more emails, more calls. Also, some of the newer scams, like the remote job scams we'll get to, they specifically target younger demographics. So more incidents, but often.
Smaller amounts lost.
Generally, yes. The real devastation, the truly massive losses, that's where age becomes a major factor. The median loss amount just climbs dramatically the older the victim grew.
How dramatically?
Okay, so for folks aged 70 to 84, the average reported loss was already huge. $10,324.
10 grand. That's wiping out savings for a lot of people.
Easily. But then you look at ages 85 and over, the average reported loss jumps again, massively. It was $33,081.
$33,000.
Average loss. Average loss. The pattern is clear and consistent. People 70 and older lose far, far more money per incident than those under 70.
So younger people might get caught by job scams or smaller threats more often, maybe lose a few hundred, $1,000. But when the scammers hook an older person, especially someone with retirement savings,
they often aim to drain the entire account. It's brutal.
Which brings us back to why. Why do smart people, successful people, fall for this? Especially when the demands get so bizarre, like buying thousands in Target gift cards.
It boils down to a couple of powerful psychological triggers. The first one we mentioned is authority bias.
We just tend to obey authority figures, or people who seem like them.
We really do. It's wired into us. When someone calls, maybe the caller ID is spoofed to look official, they use jargon, they sound forceful. Our instinct often isn't skepticism, it's compliance. We don't want to challenge the government.
And the second factor?
Loss aversion. This is huge. Humans hate losing things much more than they enjoy gaining things. So when the scammer threatens to take away your benefits, your savings, or threatens you with arrest, that fear of loss becomes overwhelming.
It short-circuits rational thought.
Yeah.
You focus only on stopping the bad thing they're threatening, not on whether the threat itself is real or the solution makes sense.
Precisely. The scammer makes the consequence sound so dire and so immediate that you'll do almost anything to avoid it, even if it means buying gift cards.
And you mentioned the grief angle, too, with Elizabeth Johnson's experience, exploiting that raw emotional state.
Yeah, when someone's grieving, their cognitive load is already maxed out. Decision-making is impaired. Scammers know this. They deliberately target people in those vulnerable moments because they're less likely to think clearly and fight back.
Okay, let's talk about those payment methods again. Gift cards, crypto, we know it's a red flag, but why do scammers demand these specifically?
Speed, anonymity, and irreversibility. That's the trifecta.
Okay, explain.
Gift cards are king because once you give that scammer the numbers off the back, the money is basically gone instantly.
Oh.
They can sell the card balance online immediately, often through secondary markets, maybe for like 70 cents on the dollar. Or they use it to buy electronics or other goods they can resell quickly. It's converted to cash or goods almost instantly, and it's virtually impossible to trace back to them or get back.
No refunds, no chargebacks like a credit card?
None. Same idea with cryptocurrency. Once you send Bitcoin or whatever to their wallet address, it's gone. Irreversible. Wire transfers are similar. Very hard to recall once sent. Cash mailed in an envelope. Obviously untraceable.
It's a perfect system for theft.
Yeah.
And they even have preferences for which gift cards.
Oh, yeah. The data shows clear patterns. Back in 2021, Target gift cards were reported way more often than any other brand in these scams.
Target. Why Target?
Probably a fix of things. Target stores are everywhere, so easy access. The cards are seen as pretty versatile, for groceries, clothes, everyday stuff, which maybe makes the request seem slightly less weird than asking for, say, a gaming gift card. And the median loss for Target card victims was the highest, too, around $2,500 per incident.
Wow. Any other popular ones?
Yeah, Google Play, Apple, eBay, Walmart, those pop up a lot, too. Basically, any widely available card that's easy to convert online.
And they actually coach the victim on what to say at the store, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because cashiers sometimes get suspicious.
They absolutely do. They anticipate that hurdle. They'll tell the victim, if the cashier asks why you're buying $2,000 in gift cards, tell them it's for your grandkids or it's for a business expense. They script the lie.
So that cashier is sometimes the very last chance to stop the scam.
Often, yes. It's why awareness for retail staff is also important. If you ever see someone, especially maybe an older person, looking distressed while buying a huge amount in gift cards, it's worth asking if everything's okay, gently.
That's specific instruction. Go to Target, buy these cards, lie to the cashier. That whole package should scream scam.
It absolutely should.
Okay, we've got the psychology, the money. Let's dig into the tech.
Yeah.
The infrastructure. How do calls from India or wherever show up looking like they're from Washington, D.C., or even your local police? This involves VoIP and these gateway carriers.
Yeah, this is the engine driving the whole operation. Most of these massive robocall campaigns originate overseas, often India, Philippines, places with lower labor costs and maybe less strict enforcement. They use Voice over Internet Protocol, VoIP.
Which is just making calls over the internet, right? Super cheap.
Exactly. Pennies per call, basically. Allows them to make millions, literally millions, of calls a day, blanketing the U.S. But here's the thing. Those internet calls have to somehow get onto the regular U.S. phone network to reach your landline or mobile.
And that's where the gateway carriers come in.
They are the bridge. These are U.S.-based telecom companies whose whole business, or a big part of it, is taking international call traffic and patching it into the domestic system. They are a necessary link in the chain.
And the problem is, some of them know what kind of traffic they're carrying.
Well, that's the allegation, and increasingly, the finding in legal actions. Our sources point to Department of Justice cases against carriers, like ones controlled by John Keane, accusing them of knowingly facilitating millions upon millions of these fraudulent robocalls for years, since at least 2017 in some cases.
So U.S. companies profiting by essentially selling access to American phone numbers to overseas fraud rings.
Yeah.
That appears to be the mechanism in some significant cases. They make money per minute of call traffic routed. The challenge for law enforcement is proving that knowledge and intent beyond just moving high volumes of calls.
Right, because the carriers can claim they're just pipes, they don't know what's flowing through them. But if the volume is huge and originates from known scam hotspots...
You'd think they'd have an idea. It's a constant battle between enforcement and these carriers playing plausible deniability. Shutting down one just seems to lead to another popping up.
And this whole infrastructure enables the caller ID spooking, making the call look legit. How does that work?
Spoofing is basically just faking the number that shows up on your caller ID. The VoIP technology makes it trivially easy. They can make the incoming call appear as any number they want.
Including official ones.
Especially official ones. The absolute favorite is the real SSA toll-free number, 1-800-772-1213. They spoof that one all the time.
So seeing the official number means nothing.
Absolutely nothing. They also spoof FBI numbers, local police department numbers, even 911 sometimes, to add to the panic.
Which means blocking the number that called you. Completely pointless.
Totally pointless. The number displayed wasn't real anyway. They'll just use a different spoofed number for the next call. It's why blocking is not a real solution here.
They also use callback numbers, right, to filter victims.
Yes, this is another layer. The initial robocall message might be vague but scary, and it tells you to call a specific number back immediately to resolve the issue.
And that callback number looks like a normal U.S. number.
Usually, yes. It might be a direct inward dial, DID number, or a toll-free number, like an 8777 number. It looks perfectly domestic. But when you call it...
It routes straight to the scam call center overseas.
Exactly. It's set up via those gateway carriers again. The victim thinks they're calling a U.S. government office, but they're connecting directly to the fraudster in India or elsewhere. It lets the scammers focus their live agents on people who are already scared enough to call back.
That's disturbingly efficient. The sources mentioned one batch of numbers linked to tens of thousands of complaints.
Yeah, one set of 902 DID numbers tied to just one defendant was linked to over 28,000 FTC complaints. It shows the sheer scale of these dedicated callback funnels.
And the scams themselves keep changing. They're not sticking just to the SSN suspended script anymore. What new trends are emerging, like from Q3 2025?
A big one is the rise in remote job scams. This really took off with the pandemic push for work from home.
How does that work with an SSA imposter angle?
Scammers pretend to be SSA hiring managers or recruiters. They post fake job listings online or send emails offering remote positions like administrative assistant or virtual benefits coordinator, supposedly with the SSA. Looks very tempting.
Okay, so someone applies thinking it's a legit government job. Then what?
Then comes the scam. They'll say, okay, you're hired, but first we need your personal info for the background check. That's where they steal your SSN, bank details for direct deposit, copies of your ID, pure identity theft.
Or they ask for money up front.
That too. They might say, you have to pay for mandatory training materials, or for a laptop and equipment the SSA will send you, or an onboarding fee. Of course, there's no job, and the money is gone. They use fake offer letters, fake email addresses, trying to look official.
So preying on job seekers' hopes. And they're moving beyond just phone calls, too. email scams.
Definitely. The email phishing scams are getting much better looking. They'll send messages designed to look exactly like a real SSA notification, maybe like the Gov delivery alerts people subscribe to.
It's the hook in the email.
Often it's something like, click here to download your annual Social Security statement, or verify your account details now. The goal is to get you to click a malicious link.
Which might download malware or take you to a fake login page to steal your credentials.
Exactly. And the key defense here always is check the sender's email address. Does it actually end in .gov? Almost always the scam emails use something slightly off, like .com or .org, or a misspelled domain, hoping you won't notice.
Never click links in unexpected government emails. Just don't.
Please don't.
Okay, this is crucial. Section 4, your defense strategy. Given everything we've heard, the spoofing, the psychology, the evolving tactics, what are the absolute rock-solid rules for protecting yourself?
There are some universal truths about how legitimate government agencies operate. If you burn these into your brain, you're pretty much scam-proof.
All right, rule number 1.
Rule #1. The government does not initiate contact by phone for customer service issues or make threats, especially the SSA. For anything really important benefit changes, problems, they use official U.S. mail. They need that paper trail.
They won't call you out of the blue.
Not for routine customer service. And they will never, ever threaten you with immediate arrest over the phone. They won't promise you a benefit increase if you just give them your bank info. That's not how they work. If a real employee needed to verify something, they'd ask you to confirm info they already have, not demand new details.
Okay, rule number 2. This one seems simple.
Rule #2. Real agencies don't demand payment via gift cards, crypto, or wire transfers. This is the easiest shield you have. If anyone claiming any government affiliation tells you to pay anything using a retail gift card, Bitcoin, or a wire,
It's a scam. Full stop.
100% of the time, no exceptions. They use official, traceable payment channels like treasury checks or secure online portals.
And rule number 3?
Rule #3. Never click links or open attachments in unexpected messages. Doesn't matter if it's text or email. If you weren't expecting a notification from the SSA, IRS, etc., treat it as hostile. Don't click that link to view your statement or verify your account. Just delete it.
Solid rules. Now, what's the action plan if you do get a suspicious call? What should you actually do in that moment?
First, and maybe hardest, hang up and stay calm. Seriously. Just hang up. Don't argue. Don't engage. They want you emotional and panicked.
Don't give them that.
Don't give them that. Take a deep breath. Maybe call a friend, family member, someone you trust, and tell them what happened before you do anything else. Just talking it through can break the spell.
Okay, hang up, calm down, talk to someone. What's next?
Independent verification. This is key. If the call genuinely worried, maybe they mentioned something specific about your benefits, you need to check it out, but not using any information the caller gave you.
Meaning, don't call the number they told you to call back, even if it looked official on the caller ID.
Absolutely not. Remember the spoofing and the DID callback numbers. You need to find the official verified contact information yourself. For the SSA, the number is 1-800-772-1213. Look it up on the official sa.gov website if you're unsure. Dial it yourself directly.
Hang up. Verify independently using official channels. Got it.
Yeah.
But what if someone listening already slipped up? What if the pressure worked and they shared their SSN? Or worse, what's the emergency procedure?
Okay, worst case scenario, you realize you gave out sensitive info. Time is critical. 3 immediate steps. First, freeze your credit now. Contact all 3 major credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. You can usually do it online or by phone. Tell them you're an identity theft victim and need an immediate credit freeze or fraud alert. This stops scammers from opening new accounts in your name. It's free. Do it immediately.
Okay, freeze credit. Step 2.
File official reports. Go to the FTC's website, identitytheft.gov. File a report there. This generates an official affidavit that you'll need. Then also file a report with your local police department. Get a copy of that police report.
Why both?
The FTC affidavit is key for legal standing in disputes. The police report is often required by banks and credit card companies before they'll act on the fraud or reverse charges. You need both pieces of paper.
Makes sense.
And the 3. Contact your financial institutions. Call your bank, your credit card companies. Use the number on the back of your card, not any number the scammer gave you. Tell them your identity and accounts may be compromised. Cancel affected cards, get new ones issued, possibly new account numbers. Monitor your statements like a hawk.
Freeze credit, file reports, contact bank. Got it. That sounds like damage control.
It is. It's about limiting the damage and starting the recovery process as fast as possible.
Finally, Why is it important for everyone, even people who don't fall for it, to report these scam attempts?
Because every report helps build the bigger picture for law enforcement and regulators. It's like pieces of a puzzle. Even a failed attempt provides data points. What number did they call from, even if spoofed? What script did they use? What callback number did they give?
Where should people report?
Two main places. Report all fraud attempts to the Federal Trade Commission at reportfraud.ftc.gov. And specifically for SSA scams, report them to the SSA's own Office of the Inspector General, their internal watchdog. That's at oad.ssa.gov, or you can call them at 1-800-269-0271.
Good to know. And the SSA is trying to get the word out too, right? With awareness campaigns.
They are. They have the hashtag #SlamTheScam campaign on social media, trying to educate people. You'll see posters and alerts in their field offices now, too, warning about the latest tactics like those remote job scams. They know public awareness is a huge part of the defense.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here. We've really dived deep into these government imposter scams, the shocking scale, that $789 million figure, the tactic spoofing, urgency, the weird payment demands, even the tech behind it, the gateway carriers, the call centers.
Yeah, and the key takeaway, I think, has to be that the old advice, trust but verify, it just doesn't cut it anymore in this environment.
Why not?
Because the trust part is too dangerous when criminals can so easily look like trustworthy sources. They can spoof the official number, use official logos. The new rule has to be never trust, always verify, especially for any unexpected contact claiming to be government and demanding immediate action or money.
Assume it's fake until you prove otherwise yourself through independent channels.
Exactly. That skepticism, combined with knowing those red flags, especially the payment methods, that's your best shield. Be skeptical, be safe, verify everything yourself.
So we usually end with a final thought, something to chew on. What's sticking with you after digging into all this?
We talked about the hundreds of millions lost, the financial devastation for victims, and that's horrific. But there's another cost, maybe harder to measure, this constant barrage of imposter scams. It's not just stealing money. It feels like an attack on the very idea of trusting legitimate government communication.
It erodes that foundational trust between citizens and the agencies that serve them.
Right. If everyone starts assuming every call, every email from the government is a potential threat, how does it impact society? How much does that erosion of confidence, that baseline level of suspicion and paranoia, even among people who never lose a dime, how much does that cost us all in the long run? That loss of trust might be the biggest, most expensive damage of all.